Hold on, breaking news.
They beat the 49ers bad.
After Lions running back Dave Montgomery spent the last few days consulting with medical experts, sources are now optimistic that the star avoided season-ending surgery that was initially feared. Montgomery will rehab with the hope that he can return at some point this postseason. God damn, that is huge.
Yeah, that's per Ian Rappaport.
You want to know what I found out today? That each NFL team only gets 8 IR designations. I mean, you can only bring back 8 players from injury reserve, which is also kind of crazy.
That
but
is
also,
crazy.
Not that many teams have experienced the amount of injuries the Detroit Lions are, but we're at our 5th now with JRM coming back. So, like, you still had Hutch.
Anzo.
If you would have had to put Monty on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Anzo. We could have got
Carlton Davis.
Carlton Davis.
Olim.
Like, we would have ran out.
We would have ran out.
Olim.
But that's a tremendous news. That is beautiful news.
Mic drop.
Come on, Monty in the postseasons when it's cold. In case we are on the road.
Yeah.
I love Gibby, but you need a little Monty there.
You love that.
That's a guy you don't want to tackle out in the cold.
No, that is not a guy that you want to tackle out in the cold for sure. That is crazy. Yeah, like you said, the 8 IR spots that you get to return. Hopefully,
we're at 5.
Yeah, hopefully not all of those are going to be filled, and we can bring some guys back that we need. It's great that David Montgomery avoided IR. Have they said what the injury is yet? A sprain?
It's MCL sprain.
MCL sprain?
Yeah.
All right, well, hopefully he's good to go. I don't know what you said. Sometime in the play. It says sometime in the
postseason. Yeah, because he's not going to hit IR now.
So, okay, I don't want to be devil's advocate per se, but there is that fear in me that if you seeked out 3 different doctors to then it's almost like he was seeking out the answer of like, let me find a way to come back, which we all love, right? But if the other 2 doctors in front of you are also saying, hey, you know, like, you got to go season-ending surgery, it is what it is. Like, is there any concern that, you know, that if the medical doctors are clashing here, that there's reason to be
if that's how it went down,
pessimistic?
Maybe in the long term, yeah. But the fact that we don't really know what the second doctor said. It sounds like the first doctor said, yo, it's a wrap on your season.
Yeah.
We don't know the second doctor. The second doctor could have also been like, I go see this guy. This guy's, you know what I'm saying, this is a great doctor to go see. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been that type of situation.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't know the details of it, but I tell you what, this year the Detroit Lions have an opportunity to do something that's never been done in the history of football, and that's win a Super Bowl here in Detroit.
Yeah.
This year, Dave Montgomery's got an opportunity to do something he's never done before, and that's win the Super Bowl. I mean, that is such a coveted trophy among all sports. I mean, it's literally the Super Bowl. When you talk about big events, like, it's the Super Bowl of this. Yeah. It's the Super Bowl of that. That's what's on the line here. And I'm sure Dan Campbell, Dave Montgomery, cut from the same cloth. The fucking driven, determined individuals who had that mindset that they're going to win the Super Bowl to begin the season, and they're here. I got to see it through, my boy.
Oh, they're going to do anything. He's going to do anything he can to get out on the field and to make things happen. Absolutely. We saw how pissed off these guys were coming off the field, David Montgomery, Ali McNeil, because they know how special of a chance they have on this team. They know how special this roster is and what's going forward. So if he has to see a third doctor to finally get the clearance, hopefully it wasn't just, hey, doc, tell me what I want to hear, and hopefully it was actually a good diagnosis. But if he can come back for the postseason, man, that would be huge. That would obviously be huge. Obviously, you love Jahmyr Gibbs, and you got Jahmyr Gibbs, but getting arrested, David Montgomery back for the playoffs could be massive.
If we got to take the PC part out of it, too, running backs have a short shelf life anyway. Yeah. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. They're so devalued, although they're supreme. Like, you need a running back, it feels like, at times, especially when it gets like the later part of the season. It travels with you on the road, the run game, the defense. But they're so like, get it while you can. Is my situation with it. And the other thing too, he just signed. He just got re-upped. He got his bread. And to be honest with you, this sounds a little like shitty, but like, the opportunity to win the Super Bowl is worth risking that first half of next season. Right. Every day, Montgomery. Because I tell you what, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, like you said, that's the one guy we're confident to have as a number 1 backup in this team, because he's top 5 in the fucking league as a reserve guy splitting carries. Insane. But also, like, we have that going to next season, and we're going to win. We're still going to win games.
Yes.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah. That's my only fear with it. Sorry. That's my only fear with it, was that I didn't want it to be an indictment on Montgomery at all. I think that's him persevering. That's him trying every avenue to come back and be a part of this momentous season for the Lions. So that was not my that was not what I was inferring at all. I was just worried about, you're looking for the answer you want to hear, but yeah, if he comes back and, like you said, rested, he already got his extension, he's taken care of to an extent. Yeah, I mean, if any way he can get back and be at it, even if you limit him in his touches, he could still be effective in those. I mean, hell, that first drive, that last drive that he does in those games, like thinking back to the Rams game.
It's important, man. It kills clock. It beats people up. It opens holes for other players on the team. His impact is extremely important on this team. Nick, how do you feel about him coming back?
Well, hopefully coming
back at some point.
Yeah, at some point, because you're going to need him, in that game against Philadelphia to get to the Super Bowl, or you're going to need him, going up against the Chiefs and Chris Jones when you need 1 yard. Are you trusting Gibbs to get through that hole more, or you trust Monty to fall forward? I like both these backs, don't get me wrong, but I trust D-Mont to fall forward because that's what he does. But until he comes back, savage mode for Jahmyr Gibbs, fellas. He needs to be on a different level than every running back in the league, including Saquon Barkley. You need Jahmyr Gibbs to be everything and more that you drafted number 12 overall in the receiving game, in the rushing game. He needs to set the tone. This offensive line hasn't been doing as great lately. He needs to pick them up and break a couple tackles. We need to see a different Jahmyr Gibbs. We all know how great he can be. We need to see him even take it to another level in the next 3 weeks and getting into the playoffs.
And I think back to that Packers fourth down that a lot of us didn't like. I didn't mind Dan Campbell going for it on that fourth down, but the play call going west with our guy Jahmyr, I wanted David Montgomery just north-south in that situation. And then last week, he finished the game, and he still had impactful plays. Those catches he had in the fourth quarter, the back-to-back, those were big gains.
Yeah, they were.
You wouldn't be able to tell he had an MCL injury.
Yeah, and Nick, your boy Eduardo makes a good point. He says the first round bye and he's back in the divisional. That is back in the divisional. That is another just important reason why the Lions must win out these last 3 games.
Like Flannel Sam said.
Like Flannel Sam. Yeah, Flannel Sam talking about how important the bye is more important than ever. This is another reason that makes that bye so important. So you can get David Montgomery even more rest and possibly be ready to come back in the divisional round of the playoffs.
Fucking tremendous news, huge news for so many reasons, and I'm just happy for Dave Montgomery too, man. It's one thing to be part of the team, and get that Super Bowl ring, but it's another thing to play in that game, and hopefully able to collect Calais Campbell too. We'll see. Hopefully the Dolphins lose.
Don't tease me.